ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानुवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and verse number 47. So we started purport of this verse. We discussed in great detail. We discussed about this verse. Karmanyevadhikarasya ma phalesu kadashana ma karma phal heturvur ma te sango asti karmani. So you have a right. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So we discussed this. There are three activities: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. So prescribed duties, capricious work. Prescribed duties means karma. Vedic literatures enjoin those activities, they prescribe it. So that is known as prescribed duties, karma, or pious activities. And all those actions which are against the Vedic injunctions or which are not supported by Vedic literatures, those actions are known as capricious work or sinful activity. And third one is the best form of activity is this inaction. Inaction means actions performed with no reaction, and that is actions performed in for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result, because result does not come from performing any action. That's why Arjuna was advised that you perform this fight considering it to be your duty. You are a Kshatriya, and it is your duty to fight for establishing dharma. Do not consider for the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. So this is also a sign of attachment. One who is attached for sense enjoyment, his personal sense gratification. So either he may perform certain activity to get sense enjoyment, sense gratification, or sometimes one wants to neglect to perform his duties uh, for the sake of sense gratification. So that is also another sign of attachment. Attachment for personal personal sense gratification. So here Arjuna, so as a Kshatriya, sometimes a Kshatriya may be very eager to fight so that he may increase his kingdom for sense enjoyment, or he may be eager to fight in a dharma yuddha, religious fight, so that even if he is killed, he may be promoted to heavenly planets to enjoy better sense gratification. Or sometimes a Kshatriya may avoid to fight so that he may not lose his present sense gratification. So Arjuna's consideration was second one. So he was trying to avoid the battle of Kurukshetra, considering that it would lead him loss of this sense gratification. It will not be helpful for him to become happy in this world. So this is also attachment. So that's why sometimes people they are very active in performing certain duties for the sake of getting sense gratification, and sometimes when they are fed up with the such kind of activities, so they want to because there is so much struggle, and after performing certain activities, there is loss of sense gratification. Then they want to stop uh, performance of duties. So in both the cases, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna that you should perform your duties as a matter of duty without thinking that it will yield you sense gratification. And also, you should not be attached to not performing your duties. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Such kind of attachment, whether for performing duties or becoming attached to not performing duties, it will lead one towards bondage. It will bind one in this material existence. So, not performing activities is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. That's why in this particular verse, Lord Krishna established that uh, when one gets the opportunity to perform certain activities as per the injunctions of Vedic literatures, or the best form of activities uh, is to perform for the service of the Supreme Lord, then one must do it because that will lead salvation for him. He will become liberated from material condition. So in this verse, 47th verse, Krishna just encouraged Arjuna that you perform your karma. Karma means as a Kshatriya, you are duty bound to perform this fighting. So you perform it without getting attached to the results. Now, in today's verse number 48, Krishna is going to tell Arjuna in what consciousness you should perform duty so that you will not become entangled in the uh, good or bad results of the performance of your duties. So first of all, one thing is that we cannot avoid the activities in Krishna consciousness. We should never give up the activities which are prescribed for us, either by Vedic literatures in terms of our situation in material modes of nature, or in terms of our spiritual situation. Spiritually, we are situated as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, servant of Krishna. So, so those duties are prescribed to serve Krishna. So it should never be neglected. But how to perform this so that we may not become attached to its good or bad material results. We may become fixed up and performing the actual prescribed duties. In this verse, Krishna says, Yoga stha kuru karmani, situating yourself in yoga. Yoga stha, equipoised. Yoga stha kuru karmani, sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Siddhya siddhayo samo bhutva, tamatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga stha kuru karmani, sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Siddhya siddhayo samo bhutva, tamatvam yoga uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Tamatvam yoga uchyate. Yogistha kuru karmani. Perform your duty equipoised. Equipoised means without getting affected with the desire to get some material benefit, or without getting affected by the bad results which one might get or one may be getting because of performing certain prescribed duties. So this is called equipoised. That means one should not hanker for material benefit. One should not expect to get material benefit in terms of which finally leads to sense enjoyment. And also, one should not repent, or one should not lament uh, for getting bad situation, means getting distressful condition of life because of performing certain activities. It's just like one, uh, those who are spiritualists, they are supposed to get up early in the morning in order to progress in Krishna consciousness, in spiritual life. So one should get up early in the morning without thinking about the good material results. And also, one should not be lamenting for the loss of their bodily health, because the mind may trick that if you get up early in the morning, your health will go down, you will become weak. So, remaining equipoised means not getting attracted towards the good material results, and also not getting affected by the bad material situations. One should perform it, these duties, yogistha. Yogistha means, yoga means in connection with the Supreme Lord. So, considering oneself to be eternal part and parcel or servant of Krishna, so it is my duty to get up early in the morning and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and to serve. So, thinking like this, in this consciousness, one should perform his duties. Then it will not give one any reaction. So, yogistha kuru karmani. Yogistha sangam tyaktva dhananda. Sangam means attachment. Abandoning all attachment to success or failure. These two things. This material world, as long as we are living in material world, so materially, sometimes there will be success and sometimes there will be failure. Success in terms of money, success in terms of bodily comfort, success in terms of sense gratification, and failure in terms of loss of material things, money, or failure in terms of losing opportunity for sense gratification, or and failure in terms of discomfort to the body. So one should not lament for failure, so-called failure, material failure, and one should not be enthusiastic to get the so-called material success. So these two things must be given up in order to be able to perform one's prescribed duties very nicely. So when one gives up the attachment, when one doesn't calculate regarding the result, when one gives up the attachment for the results, whether good or bad, then he can fix his consciousness completely in the performance of his duties. That's why those who can perform their duties without considering results. Result oriented performance is always inefficient performance, and duty oriented performance of activity is always best performance. Materially, also, you can say, and spiritually, it is 100% good. But materially, also, if somebody is just engaged in performing certain material activities, also, so the aim of performing any material activity is to get some material benefit in terms of money and sense gratification and comfortable life and name and fame in this material world. This is the result one expects by performing any material activities. But a person who is performing those material activities to get these things, he will always be a loser to some degree. He will never get it. He can never perform his material activities up to the mark. But even in material circle also, those who perform their material duties, not for acquiring some name, fame, or money, or position, or sense gratification, or comfort of the body, but for just as a matter of duty, that it is my duty to do it. Then they can very peacefully do it, nicely do it. And even if there is no result, uh, then also they do not become affected. But a person who is performing his activities result oriented, so definitely he is affected at every step, because always he is just calculating whether the way I am performing my activities, it will give me the result or not, it will give me name and fame or not, it will give me sense gratification or not, whether I will be comfortably situated in this material world or not. So all this calculation will go on while doing the duties. So he will run after the shortcuts in order to get the results early, or in order to get the results. And if he gets, if he gets the results to some degree, then he will immediately leave the material activities, performance of duty. So in this way he gets entangled. But one whose intention is that, oh, I am duty bound to do this, so let me do it, and let me just engage myself nicely doing my duties. So in this way, even materialistic person also, those who are not result too much result oriented, but duty oriented, so they start enjoying their duties also, activities also, even if there is no result, even if they don't get result, it does not matter for them. They can they can remain peaceful throughout the performance of their duties. And when the result comes, if it is good, successful, all right, very nice. And if it is not successful, no problem. At least I enjoyed doing my work. This is how they always remain peaceful and nicely situated. On the other hand, a person who is too much attached for the result, too much attached to get some certain sense gratification, name and fame, something like this, then even while doing his duties, he's always in fearful state, whether I'll get it or not, whether I'll get it or not. And when, if he gets success, then also there is problem. Why? Because immediately after certain success, certain good result, she again has to make further goal and work very hard to get another result. So another hankering and fearful situation to get something else, something better. And if he gets failure, then he becomes very depressed and loses all his composure. So this is the bad effect, a bad result. A bad thing about performing one's duties being result oriented. Uh, but duty oriented performance always makes one uh, to perform his activity to the best of his capacity. Uh, but in his, this is in terms of material activities. But as far as spiritual life is concerned, uh, especially for devotees in Krishna consciousness, uh, the best um, gain, the best what you say result you can say is that one gets the opportunity to perform devotional service to Krishna. That itself is the best reward for a devotee, best result for a devotee, or best source of happiness, best source of his motivation to perform those activities. Why? Because a devotee's understanding is that as long as I am engaged every moment in somehow or other, in some way or other, for serving Krishna's lotus feet, then that is my greatest gain. That is my greatest fortune. Uh, because there is a deep philosophical understanding behind this, not just sentimental thing. And of course, one who has attained to the level of bhava or prema, some affection for Krishna, so for him, obviously, it doesn't matter the result. Result doesn't matter. For him, what matters is whether I am getting the opportunity to serve Krishna every moment or not. If morning 3:30 or 4 o'clock onwards till night 10:30, 11 o'clock when he goes to the bed, if each and every moment of his day is just engaged either in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or preaching about the Supreme Lord, or serving Krishna's deity form, or another way, in any type of service. If it is engaged, just engaged, so the devotee feels very satisfied. Even if throughout the day he engaged himself completely in performing all kinds of different kinds of services to Krishna, even if there is no result, no external result, still there is no loss. Still, he is very happy, jubilant that my today's day was successful. At least I consider it like this. Uh, if I can get any day till morning of 3:30, 4 o'clock onwards till 10:30, 11 the night, if in each and every moment I get the opportunity, some or other, to serve Krishna, that is the best. That is the perfection of that day, or that is the day, best day you can say. No result, nothing, doesn't matter. Rather, all material results, even if it is taken away, no problem. And the beauty of Krishna consciousness is that nobody can stop you for serving Krishna. Because suppose somebody may take away some services or activities, but nobody can take away your bead bag. You can always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You can always hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures. You can always read Srila Prabhupada's books. Nobody can stop that. Our Guru Maharaj, uh, he used to say like this, uh, that even if you take away everything from me, all my GBC position, BBT trustee position, all my temples, disciples, even if somebody takes away everything, just give me Prabhupada books and my bead bag. And even if you send me to a forest, I can happily spend my days. No, no tension, because I can simply chant Hare Krishna and read Prabhupada books. In this way, in that situation also, a pure devotee can fully engage himself in serving Krishna. That is also a best service. When we get the opportunity to serve the mission of the Lord, that is well and good. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have the opportunity. Even if somebody doesn't give us any opportunity, we can just take some books and go out and do book distribution. If we distributed Bhagavad Gita for 2 hours and not even a single person took any Gita, then also there is no loss. At least within the core of the heart, the feeling will be there that I engaged myself in serving Srila Prabhupada and Krishna's mission for 2 hours. And I chanted and did all this. So this is the greatest joy for a devotee. So he's not at all concerned about the result. And of course, when such a devotee who performs his duties in Krishna consciousness in such mood, definitely he gets the results on. And what kind of result? He is elevated to the higher platform of Krishna consciousness. He is elevated to the higher platform of spiritual life. His heart is cleansed completely, and he is nourished spiritually, and he can have the reciprocation of the Supreme Lord. The Lord, being very merciful, then gives him all opportunity to get engaged 24 hours a day. That is, and sometimes material results also he may get, but that does not matter. Material results comes and goes, doesn't matter. Material results in terms of name and fame, in terms of followers, that's all. This is what the material results a devotee may get. For material things and resources, he doesn't care. But sometimes devotees, they also engage themselves in serving Krishna to get name and fame and to get some followers. This material results they want sometimes. But those who are pure devotees, they do not even want such kind of results. They are least concerned about these things. Uh, Even if somebody is willing to associate with them, all right, he will happily preach about Krishna consciousness. But if nobody is willing to hear him, then he can simply chant Hare Krishna and preach to himself by reading Bhagavatam and hearing lecture. Our Guru Maharaj, in one lecture, he was telling this thing, the same thing. A Krishna conscious person, he is always preaching. If he gets the opportunity to speak to somebody, he may preach to him or to a larger audience present before him. He may speak hours and hours about Krishna. And if nobody is there, he will preach to himself. He will speak to himself about Krishna consciousness by reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. You can just go on reading. So there is nothing demotivating in Krishna consciousness life. In Krishna conscious life, there is nothing which can demotivate. But of course, in material life, sometimes there may be discouragement or demotivation because the society has made such a wrong system at present that everyone is forced to work for getting some result. So in material life, there will always be the possibility to get this tension, stress, fearfulness, lamentation, because we are forced to engage ourselves to get some result. So, but even in those situations, devotee who is actually fully Krishna conscious, externally he may be doing material activities for the sake of getting results, and if he gets the result, still it doesn't matter for him because as a matter of duty he does, and if he doesn't get the result, still it is not affected. He depends upon Krishna. Okay, if Krishna doesn't want, then all right, I'll do it again. It does not. He is not bothered too much with the results of the material activities, and that is the meaning of yogistha kuru karmani. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Give up the attachment for the result and being situated in yogistha means Krishna consciousness to perform your duty. Siddhi asiddhi samo bhutva. Siddhi means success, asiddhi means failure. Being become equipoised in success and failure, that is called as samatvam. Such equanimity is called actually yoga or bhakti yoga. Our situation is transcendental. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll take some question answers because I spoke about this subject matter a lot. I expect some questions. You can ask questions. Hare Krishna. Yes, Palak Mataji, you have some question.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, जो मटेरियल ड्यूटीज होती है उससे कैसे मतलब कृष्णा से कनेक्ट किया जा सकता है? क्योंकि मैंडेटरी होती है कुछ जो हम छोड़ भी नहीं सकते, और कृष्णा
Yeah.
से कनेक्ट कैसे, पता नहीं कैसे किया जाता है।
No, जो कृष्णा से कनेक्ट करना है doesn't mean that in each material activity you are constantly chanting Hare Krishna or remembering Krishna. It does not mean like that. But the meaning is that you are doing it so that you may maintain yourself materially very well, or at least so much comfortably, so that you always have the opportunity to uh, means, perform your service to Krishna. So that is also required. Um, and second thing is the activities, material activities also which we do, the results we get, some result we'll get. So those results we can give for the service of Krishna. But in a higher platform, higher consciousness, a devotee, he even doesn't look material activities as material activities. Because he is perfectly situated in such pure Krishna consciousness that he always remembers that I am an eternal servant of Krishna. I am not this body, but I am put into such in these circumstances. So I am serving Krishna. I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I have to do certain material activities. So she takes it as means given by the Supreme Lord Himself. So, but this consciousness should not encourage us to do more and more material activities which are not required and say that, oh, Krishna has put me into such a situation, so what can I do? No. So whatever minimum is required, a devotee thinking that this much minimum material activity it is also ordained by the Supreme Lord because of my karma, because there is nothing beyond the existence of Supreme Lord Krishna. There is nothing beyond Him. The material activities also are actually uh, being given to us under the direction of Krishna through material nature. So that's why King Kulsekar said, Yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagwan purva karmanurupam. एतत् प्रार्थयन् मम बहुमतं जन्म जन्मान्तरेऽपि त्वत्पदाम्भोरुह युगगता निश्चला भक्तिरस्तु. That within the core of my heart, let me always have this single desire that the purpose of my existence, purpose of my life, um, is to get shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. If that is there always, then even the material, so-called material activities performed by a devotee is also not material activity. That means, in simple words, we can say, even if we have to perform some material activities, we are if the compulsion is there, and of course, it's compulsion because you cannot avoid it. You have to survive in this material existence, so you have to do certain material duties. So, while doing those material duties, do not try to hanker after the results for the purpose of your sense gratification. That let me also do such material activities so that I can also become like him or her. Just see how she or he is getting so much name and fame, and how he or she is getting earning so much money. So this desire should not come within our heart. Within our heart, we should just maintain the desire that I only want to get the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. But I'm supposed to perform such material activities 5, 6, 8 hours a day. Let me do it as a service to Krishna only. Okay.
यस प्रभु। प्रभु, ऐसा भी होता है कि अ, सेवाएं जो रहती हैं उनमें भी मटेरियल कॉन्शियसनेस मतलब आ जाता है ऐसे करके कि हाँ इतना
Yes.
इतना करना है ताकि मैंने ये टारगेट बनाया है। कृष्णा को सेंटर में ना लेकर लोग अपने उसमें चले जाते हैं कि ये मेरी
Uh,
पोटेंशियल का टेस्ट है ऐसे करके।
yes.
तो
Yes. That
ये
is bad.
गलत है ना?
Yes, that is material consciousness. Just like in the previous question, as I told you, while performing material activities, also, if one is maintaining spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, that means to have the desire to uh, get complete shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, then those material activities also do not remain material activities, that becomes spiritualized. But on the other hand, if somebody is maybe engaged in direct Krishna conscious activities, but if he desires or hankers after the results for his sense enjoyment, that I may get name and fame, and I may get such and such position, so then it becomes material. Very simple. Material and spiritual is not the activities which we perform. Material and spiritual is the consciousness with which we perform the activity. So we should always remember this. Even if somebody is chanting Hare Krishna, somebody is worshipping the deity, just like in big, big temples. When the pujari comes out of the altar, takes the sank and blows the sank, he says, oh, so many people are watching. Wow, I will be recognized. So let me do it so nicely. And then he dresses very nicely. All this is subtle things. If somebody has this consciousness that I'm doing arti and so many millions of people are watching me, then that is material, no worshipping Lord. Finish. If somebody is giving lecture and he's saying that so many thousands of people are watching me, and so I will get name and fame, then finish. This is material consciousness. On the other hand, a devotee who may be engaged materially, but if he does not does desire to enjoy the fruits of his material activities, then he is situated in Krishna consciousness. So, what is the symptom of a devotee who is free, whose heart is free from the enjoying mentality for the results of activities he is performing? The symptom is that as soon as the result will come, he will immediately give it to Krishna, engage it for the service of Krishna. And he will always, within his heart, the hankering will be how to become relieved from such material activities and become fully engaged in Krishna's service. The hankering will be there. And the symptom of a person who is performing material activities and who is not Krishna conscious, the symptom will be that he will desire more and more this more and more material activities to get more and more material desires. So these are the results. Okay, one question है Is it okay to get stressed about workload and duties? That depends. Everything is internal consciousness. So we can get distressed and workload also for duties, material activities. But the result or consciousness or intention should not be that I want to get some enjoyment, sense gratification out of it. That means my name should be there. I should get name and fame. I should get position. I should get money. So these desires should not be there. Otherwise, as a matter of duty. So when one is performing duties, of obviously to do it properly in a good manner, so one will get some stress and some pressure. So that's all right. Nothing wrong in that. So how to take these things, like in which point of time you should do? Yeah, take a stress workload and so much to state is okay to do then. So more than 12-15 hours is never recommended because that will compromise our sadhana. So we should never do so much work. We should do at the most 8 to 10 hours, not more than that. Because then our we will not be able to chant, complete our 16 rounds. We will not be able to associate with devotees, hear about Krishna. Then our consciousness will become polluted. So it's not recommended to work more than 12 hours. More than 10 hours is not recommended. So you have to plan in such a way that you may manage it. So try it. Okay. Your time is up. We'll stop here. Okay. Hare Krishna.